What's up? Welcome back to the 11 Podcast, episode 2.
Who? I can't believe
Yeah.
this is the second episode. I am really psyched.
I know, I'm so excited.
Yes. All right, you guys, welcome back. What's been going on, Josh? What's up?
Just training, had a workout today, been having a lot of fun doing the college stuff. What about you?
Good. My running has actually been going pretty well. Starting
Awesome.
to get on a roll. This has been a tough season, like kind of a tough summer and beginning of fall. I feel like I've just been like starting over, and then starting over, and then starting over with the
Yeah,
consistency. But I feel like I'm in a good place right now. I ran 11 miles this past weekend
awesome.
for my long run, and I actually felt decent. And I got in a little tiny hill workout, and so I've got some good workouts coming up this week. So yeah,
I saw the hill workout on your Instagram. I
yeah,
made sure to, I made sure to like it.
nice.
Yeah,
So
awesome
it
stuff.
was. I guess I should say it wasn't like an actual hill workout. It was just like these short hill sprints,
hmm
but it felt like I'm like going in the right direction where I'm starting to. And it's not because Jared, my coach, is not writing me workouts. It's just the fact that like. I mean, I definitely have been stumbling over getting it all done. So I feel like I'm in a good place right now with my training.
Cool. Was it at the Pantoshetta Hill? I feel like I recognized it.
It
I could see
was.
like half of it.
You know, there's so many places now that I run and go do workouts or whatever, places where we have gone when I was helping coach high school
Yeah,
cross country.
totally.
So
What's
it's
your
kind
what's your
of,
mileage looking like?
Josh, it's not that great.
Oh,
But I have to start somewhere. So last week I ran 35 miles, which is very low for me. But I feel like it's okay. Like I'm starting from the beginning. I don't have a marathon on the calendar yet. I'm gonna do a spring marathon. I just haven't picked one yet. I want to do some shorter stuff, so it's all good. Like this week, I want to gradually start increasing the miles and just getting it done. But I feel good, so I'm happy.
awesome, awesome.
How's your training going? What was the standout workout of the week?
I would say the standout workout of the week was today. We had just a short fartlek workout. It was 4, 3, 2, 1 minute intervals with 1 minute rest in between the reps and 3 minutes jog in between each set. Every rest was a jog, and we did the 2K loop. I did it 3 times, so pretty simple with the race coming up.
The race. Tell us
Yeah,
about the race coming up.
it's a 5K race. It's going to be on the track, and it's going to be on Friday under the lights, and it's going to be awesome. I'm super excited. And I was thinking too, I'm glad that I'm excited for the 5K now because I can remember last year thinking the 2 mile, the 3,200 felt like a long race. But like I said before, after coming from the 8K, 5K seems no big deal. What would you say your favorite track event is?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, one, I'm super excited to come on Friday night under the lights and watch you race on Friday. Yes, you're gonna crush it. It's gonna be so good. My favorite track race. I don't know. I'm actually gonna race on the track in December,
hmm
2 mile, and I'm actually saying it out loud for the first time, and I'm pretty nervous. So I don't know. I feel like that might be a favorite, a 2 mile, where it's not like as intense as an 800, which I told Jared no on the 800. Like I'm not like in the mindset right now to do an 800. And
hmm
then I've done a mile before, but not for a long time. So I definitely would like to get a fast mile time under my belt at some point.
Totally.
So, but we'll see how the 2 mile goes.
Awesome.
So I guess that's an answer to be decided, which is my favorite.
Yeah. Running the 2 mile, I feel like it's all mental. It's 8 laps around the track, and you just have to be so locked in mentally. Obviously, it's not that long of a race. It's only 2 miles. And what do you think you'll be hitting for your mileage peak? Because depending, if you're running high mileage, you're going to be able to handle a race like that.
Yeah, that's why I was like laughing because it's like in my mind I felt like I was running more last week than I actually was, and I added it up and I was like 35 miles, but that's fine. Aiming for like close to 50 this week, 45, 50, and then we'll just slowly go up from there. But I feel it's only 5 weeks away, this race that I'm going to do on the track, which is the same one that you did last year in December
Yeah.
at Occidental College. So
Hmm.
yeah, so you'll be there to cheer me on, and
Totally.
yeah, I think I'd like to 50-ish, 60, we'll see, miles under my belt between now and then, and just mostly getting in some quick workouts and pushing myself. I'm so nervous though because it's like for track races, I'm so used to being on the sidelines cheering you on
Yeah.
and being like, "Come on, pick it up." And then it's going to be me, and I know that feeling like when your lungs are like burning and like everything is hurting. So I'm definitely nervous about it, but I'm actually looking forward to pushing myself.
Yeah, you're gonna do great. I think we should roll it back to the beginning a little bit. Give us some context, how you got into the sport, just like you asked me. Things you're looking forward to. You touched on, but let's hear it from the beginning.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the shortened version.
Okay.
Uh All right, so I've been running my whole life. Started running at 7 years old. Ran with my parents. They got me into the sport. Your grandparents. They never ran formally. They didn't run a marathon or any formal track or cross country races. They just ran recreationally. So that's how I got into it, and really fell in love with it right from the beginning. Like there was never a point where I felt like I did not like running. Uh, when I was in middle school, there was no middle school team. I did not run club track or cross country, so I didn't really start formally racing and running until high school. And then started running my freshman year in high school. Really wanted to be a sprinter, wanted to do the 100 and 200, thought that is what I'm going to do. And I just don't have those kind of fast twitch muscles naturally. So I had a really great coach who suggested that I try cross country, and reluctantly I went to practice. I didn't want to, but went and immediately loved it.
Hmm.
Immediately loved it. Loved the people, the culture, the friends that I made, like some of my very best friends. Loved all the beautiful places that we got to run. So then I fell in love with cross country, and then just did distance track in the spring. So did that my whole high school career. Went to two different high schools, one in the Midwest, finished up on the West Coast in a full circle moment right down the street from where you went to high school, which is pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
And it's an interesting fact that a lot of the runs that you did in your high school career, I did in my high school career. So that really meant a lot to me. Then fast forward to college, I was a walk on at UC Santa Barbara, Division One. It was competitive, but not as cutthroat competitive as it is now. And I was lucky that the coach gave me a shot and ended up running on the team, and felt like I really wanted to do big things. My sophomore year, I got injured, and we really did try a lot to throw everything at this injury. And ultimately, it just was like one of those lingering type of injuries, which in retrospect, I feel like it was a stress reaction in my shin bone, that I probably was not diagnosed. There wasn't nearly as much technology as there is now. And so that kind of ended my college career, sadly. And, there was no social media when I was in college. And I think my running life would have been a lot different if there was, because now the opportunity to try to run professionally or to try to do all these great things in the sport is right there in front of you. You just have to grab it and work really hard for it. But then it was kind of like it felt inaccessible to me because I didn't run in college, and I didn't finish that career out and then meet the right people to possibly talk about going on after that. So I just stopped. I didn't stop
Hmm.
recreationally running, but I stopped running at a high level. And then I realized that I really wanted to do a marathon. That was a bucket list item. So did the LA Marathon, then got hooked on marathons.
Yep.
And then now 16 marathons later, and 3 kids later,
Yep.
and a whole lot of other stuff in between. And I never thought that I would make running my profession. But now with race announcing for the LA Marathon, which was my first marathon, and now to come back and be the race announcer, this will be my third year coming up announcing for the LA Marathon, is such a big deal to me, and it feels really special. Um, and just being in the industry with the Sweet Run podcast, which is coming back, you guys. The Sweet Run podcast is making a comeback, but we'll talk about that later. And just in every way with my writing that I've done and blogging and being a big part of this sport really means a lot to me. I love it. I love the people. I love the culture. I love the idea of trying to get as many people involved in running and spread the word that it is the best sport and it's so there for everybody. And it will help you to live a long and wonderful life and keep you strong and also able to do other sports. So
Totally.
yeah, and then as far as like where my running is going now, I have a lot of goals that I want to accomplish, and it sometimes it takes a while to get where you want to be, but the point is that you keep showing up and that you don't give up, and you
Mhm.
keep working hard, which is what I want to do, and I'm just still really really excited about this sport and what it means for me personally. And I love supporting you and your sisters, but and that is separate, but I still have this burning desire to do the things that I want to do in the sport, and that's what gets me up every day and gets me fired up. So
Yeah. Amazing. Before we talk about objectives and goals specifically, tell me about what is the transition like from the collegiate level and ending that chapter to making it a profession, like you were talking about.
I mean, for me, it would have been cool to transition from a collegiate career, even if it didn't go the way that I wanted it to. It would have been great to kind of explore what it would have been like to work toward running professionally. That would have been a dream. But since I didn't, like I was saying, I didn't know about that world or how to enter into it or that it was even a possibility for me. Um, I felt like when I got injured in my sophomore year, I sort of I kept throwing everything at it and trying to get better, and then after a while it just became really kind of sad. I just felt like there was this like deep sadness that I wanted to run, and my body just wasn't letting me at the time, and I was so young. And so that was hard, and I tried to really like hang on to just the atmosphere and the culture of being a collegiate athlete, but you kind of felt like you were always like looking in on the outside, and
Hmm.
uh, you kind of seeing other people achieve their dreams and being so happy for them, but wanting to be a part of it. And then that transitioned into, just eventually graduating, and my running was still running, but not the same as it was. And but
Hmm.
then having my eyes opened about the marathon, and like at the time I didn't know what I could possibly do. It wasn't like I was looking at it like, oh, I have this goal in the marathon and I want to run really fast. I was like, oh, I just want to complete one.
Yeah.
Because my high school coach had told me how amazing it was to run a marathon. So for me, that was just the first entry into it. Is like I just wanted to do one. And then eventually you kind of get going into it, and you're like, oh well, maybe if I train more intelligently, and maybe if I do this, and maybe if I work on my speed a little bit more, or if I up my mileage a little bit more, and all of those things. And then eventually you just want to really see what you can do.
Oh, totally. And when you're talking about all the things that we have access to, social media, for example, I think about Strava as well as Instagram. That's got to fuel you looking at not obviously in a comparative way, but looking at what other people are doing and motivating you to say, oh, okay, here's something. Because like for example, like Connor Mance, he posted his whole marathon on Strava when he ran the Chicago Marathon. So seeing that has got to be an inspiration for your own training, even if you're working as an individual.
I know. You know what? That has been on my list to go to, the things to do, to go to his Strava and look
Yeah.
at his amazing American record at the Chicago Marathon. And unbelievable, breaking 205 and just all of the things. Yeah, it's definitely inspiring. It was funny because my coach Jared and I were having this chat about Strava a little bit,
Hmm.
and he was like, "Oh, I see you're on Strava," and I've been on Strava for a long time, but I literally have one run
Yeah,
log on Strava because, and I was saying to him, I was like, I'm not anti Strava, but I feel like my life sometimes is kind of open with like all these different social media apps, and I
hmm,
felt like, do I really want to enter into Strava and like people seeing where I run and like posting every little thing, and it feels like you're just completely on display, which,
totally.
so I do think about that. I know you can put it on private and only allow a certain amount of people in, so maybe that's something that I'll do in the future. But I do love Strava, and I love going on and seeing what people are doing, and it is super inspiring.
Yeah. And I was thinking too, just back to the Connor Mance point a little bit. I mean, it's crazy to see somebody who's that good post one of their runs on Strava.
I
I
know.
just had to say that because usually it's your teammates. I mean, obviously phenomenal runners. Like for example, for me, but to see like an Olympian do that, I mean, like just on Strava for everybody to see, it's rare. So it's honestly so cool.
I know. I love watching him run. He is just a machine in the very best way. I mean, just his form, his biomechanics, like I just I don't his work ethic obviously and like the kind of workouts that, he's doing with Clayton Young and Ed Eyestone guiding them. I mean, it is so cool to watch. I mean, well, you and I have watched it
Yeah.
together and Clayton's YouTube series that he does, especially when he's getting ready for a big race. But yeah, anyway, they're just on a whole other level, and it is. I love now, kind of going back to what we were talking about, like how we did.
Mhm.
I didn't have access to all of that YouTube and Instagram and all of that when I was in high school and college, and I love that we have access to that now. I think it brings the sport to a different level, and you can see what the possibilities are, and like, oh well,
Totally.
yeah, maybe I'm not running 130 miles a week, but I can do this, or
Hmm.
this is possible. So
Totally, totally. I couldn't agree more. And like, has there been a race that you've seen either on YouTube or a workout on Strava or on YouTube? Because for me, I know I get inspired seeing runners, whether they're like professional runners or just super competitive runners. That they might post a workout to YouTube, or I'm not on Strava a ton. Like I have an account, but I haven't posted anything. But they'll post something on YouTube, and I'm like, I gotta try that. Has there been something like that for you, whether it's a workout or a race?
yeah, I like Track All Access on YouTube when they highlight these college teams and the workouts that they do, and they follow them around for a workout. I'm just like, okay, this is inspirational. Just seeing these kids and just runners work so hard, and you're just like, I could do a quarter of that, or I could do a little bit of that. It will elevate my running, and it just kind of like opens up the world as to like what you need to improve upon. And I also use that in my coaching because I'm a running coach, and I coach adult runners, long distance runners. So it inspires me when I'm writing workouts for my athletes, and giving them inspiration and direction in their goals and dreams and things that they tell me that they want to do and want me to
Hmm.
guide them to get there. So yeah, yeah, YouTube definitely opens up a whole possibility of just watching people lay out some pretty cool, fast workouts.
Totally, totally. Would you say you take your coaching philosophy from things you see on the internet, or just like anecdotal experience?
I would say I've had the opportunity to be coached by some really great coaches, and I've just from all the ways that I've educated myself through classes and books and coaches that I've had, and the opportunity to do so much in the sport over the last 30 plus years. I mean, I just have so much on hands experience, and like putting all those elements together, I feel like really helps me in my coaching, and to be the best coach that I can be. And I think one of the things that's important is like I'm constantly a student of the sport. Like even though
Mhm.
I've been in the sport for so long, it's like I'm still constantly learning, and I think that's what really makes you be not only the better coach, but a better runner as well.
Because Coach Smith, he talks about at CBU, he always talks about explaining to us why we're doing certain things and the science behind it. For example, at Mammoth, we would have these talks where he would go over all the biomechanics and things about form and about workouts so that the athlete knows, okay, not only is this good for me, but here's why. So I couldn't agree more with what you're saying. I love to soak that stuff up.
I love it. I love to think about and talk about and learn more about the science of the sport. I think there's definitely with like with coaching there's the science aspect and the art of coaching as well.
Hmm.
And I think when you marry those two together, you can just really make great things happen for an athlete. And I think one of the interesting things that people tell me as adults are I wish that I would have known about like the proper way to warm up and the dynamic way to warm up and plyometrics and strength work. I wish I would have known that a long time ago. That would have helped me with my running.
Hmm.
And I would just say to people, like, it doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, I ran with L's club
Yeah.
team yesterday. So, elementary and middle school kids, and ran with them and watched them do their warm up, their run. I ran with them, and then also having them do their core work and their cool down, and they're doing plyos and all this stuff. And this is what people need to be doing.
Yeah.
This is going to make you a better runner. It's about being a better athlete as well. So, yeah.
Would you say Coach Mitchell sees herself more as an artist or a scientist?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'd say an artist that is a budding scientist.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I love it.
I definitely have, over so many decades have learned the art of coaching, training, and racing. Constantly, like, still a student of the sport. I've learned a lot. I've studied a lot about the science of the sport, but I am eager to just keep on educating myself.
And I think too, communication is huge for coaching because you can have somebody who knows all of it. They can be so book smart, but if they don't know how to communicate it to their athletes and present it in a way where, I mean, obviously, if the athlete's there, they want to do it to a certain extent, but
Yeah.
explain to them why it's good for them and really have even just the patience to walk them through it and just be there for them. There's something about that side of coaching that honestly you can't teach.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I do think it is about the whole person. And it's interesting the more and more interviews that I hear of like about what we were talking about last week about the transition from high school to college running and high school students what they're looking for in a school in a coach, and more I hear these interviews about kids saying it's how much the coach cares about me as a person, not just as this robot who's
Hmm.
running all the time to elevate the team, but what about me as a person and how I'm adapting, and that I'm flesh and blood and I've got feelings and all of those things. So I think that it is about good communication. I think you have to, and like for me, the majority of the adults that I coach, are busy. So they have
Hmm.
careers, they have kids, most of them, and they just want to still get the very best of themselves out of the sport. So communication is key because they're like, oh my gosh, there'll be times where they're like, I have this going on and this going on. Can I move this workout around? And it's like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to have that flexibility and you have to listen to them. There's no one way to do something with their workouts. You have to be open to the possibility of changing things around and um, just helping them guide them where they need to go depending on their lifestyle.
Oh yeah, and for you too, you get it because you're an athlete and a coach doing it simultaneously. Not a lot of coaches can say they're training for a race or they're training for this PR while coaching their own athletes. So you definitely have that edge.
Yeah, and I do love that in the sense that because when I talk to an athlete about a workout or something that didn't go right or something that went great, or I have this little niggle that just popped up, or my hamstring is bothering me, or my Achilles is hurting, or I didn't quite nail that 800-meter workout. So now what? And it's like I know exactly how they're feeling. I'm like, yes,
Hmm.
I can relate to this. That happened to me last week, or oh yeah, I had a really bad hamstring injury, 2 years ago, or whatever it is. So in that sense, I feel like I'm walking the journey right alongside them.
Totally. What kind of races are you gearing up for on the athlete side?
So the shorter stuff, so that it'll lead me into the fastest marathon that I can possibly run. So you totally know this because we've talked about this so many times. But I ultimately want to run a sub 3 hour marathon.
Hmm.
So that's just over 650, like 652 pace exactly or so per mile. And there was a time in the last few years that felt so like right there, just grab it, right? So achievable. And then life, kind of turns itself on one end or the other, and you kind of go through some stuff, and you feel like it's not as attainable. Like when we ran Grandma's Marathon, which you guys will
Hmm.
definitely talk about that in another episode.
Yeah.
But uh, the training cycle that I had at the beginning of 2025 was not indicative of a sub 3 hour marathon. And I was like, I'm fine with that. Like, let's go to the next goal. That's okay. But that being said, that is, I've had that goal for a long time. I'm not going to give up on it until it happens. It's going to
Yeah.
happen. And the fun part is the training and the dreaming and the hard work that goes into it. And man, when it happens, it's going to be sweet.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. And speaking of training, I was thinking to myself the other day about. I was like asking myself, what are like the hardest workouts that I've done? I was thinking to myself like whether it's high school or college, what was the most challenging workout? And I thought about in high school, like senior year, when we did 7 by 1K to gear up to run the 5K. So, what would you say some of the hardest workouts you've done, specifically gearing up for the marathon, look like?
That's a good question. I would say two different types of workouts. There's one where I've done like 16 times 400 meters, and then I've done some 100 meters strides, a little bit faster than stride pace. After that, that was a very hard workout, but I felt so strong, and I felt like that gives you a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the marathon specific workouts where you've got like a 24-mile day, 24 miles broken up into all these different elements. And a lot of it is at marathon pace and faster than marathon pace. And there's all these different um, elements thrown into like a 24-mile training run. And that is definitely very tough. But you feel like it's usually like around peak week of your marathon training cycle, and when you walk away from that, you're just like, okay, I got this. Like if you
Hmm.
can get through that workout, you know that you can conquer the marathon. And I mean, for me, it's so much more than just completing a marathon, as you know. I mean, it's about racing a marathon, how fast you can do it, like where are the parts that you need to work on, where in the race do you feel like, you kind of break down. And it's constantly trying to look at how to do it differently or how to improve here or this little piece. And like for a long time for me, it was fueling and what didn't upset my stomach, and
Yeah.
what were the right combinations of gels and the types of gel and the types of fluids and different things that I was taking, and the pre-race meal, and all of that, to ensure that I didn't have any GI distress, because then you do all this work for you to be like, oh, now my stomach just blew up.
Right. Right.
So Yeah.
And honestly, the feeling when you nail a good workout going into a race, just going back to the workout thing for a sec,
Yeah.
that's got to give you so much confidence because I know it does for me.
It gives you so much confidence. I mean, like you were saying about a 5K specific workout, like when I do a big marathon specific workout and I feel like, I mean, there's not going to be every single time that I nail it. You know, sometimes it's not perfect, but the fact that like you've done it and like there's elements of it that went really well, and I feel like, you know, you come away with such, again, such confidence to know that like that you're ready for the distance.
Totally. And for me, I feel like I'm a numbers guy. I love crunching the numbers. I love looking at the stats. So I'll write notes on my phone of workout splits or things that I've split in a race. And I'll just keep looking back at it, keep looking back at it. And you'll always see me plugging numbers into VDOT. If you see me on my phone, I'll be on the VDOT running calculator, most likely, plugging in numbers, trying to see, okay, what paces should I run? How's this going to work? Do you find yourself crunching the numbers a lot, or do you gain confidence based off of feeling how you felt?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. And it's really interesting that you talk about that because I talk about this a lot with my athletes. Like sometimes I'll give them a workout where I just want them to run by feel. I want them to feel what half marathon pace feels like, or feel what 10K pace is like. And sometimes it's not perfect. It's going to be by effort. And you know, some people are good with that, and some people are like, I have to know exactly what pace I need to run for every single mile, and so you
Yeah.
work through that. I do. I also I write a lot of notes on my phone. Everything from like motivational stuff, you know, or like, wow, that was the worst run I've ever had, and here are the reasons why. Like, what could I do differently? Or, oh, I felt great today. Um, I feel like I'm kind of going all over the place on that answer,
Oh, no worries.
but yeah, like there's different parts of my brain. There's sometimes I feel like where I need to know exactly, you know, what a pace should feel like or what a pace should be exactly, and I am plugging in the numbers and all that. And sometimes I do a workout and I just want to just turn off the watch, turn off the technology, and I just want to run hard, and I want to run the easy runs easy, and it's just as simple as that.
hmm and I know for the marathon, obviously, you have to have a ton of endurance. Would you say that a high number of rep or a high repetition workout like 16 by 400 gets you prepared the most? Or for us, we do long tempos sometimes, like an 8 mile long tempo or no breaks, it's just continuous running. What would you say helps you out the most in getting you confident for a race between the two?
For the marathon specific stuff, definitely like long tempos, and a lot of like the long run is definitely your meat and potatoes of a marathon training cycle. Like you've got to have a long run. So for me, a week would look like a midweek run, like a midweek, not run, but a midweek workout, whether like it's some sort of speed element where it's longer tempo or fartlek or, you know, hill repeats, or there's some sort of speed element within my mileage on in a midweek workout. And then on the weekend, having my long run. And then usually I'll have another mini workout within the week, whether it's hill sprints, or some other, it's usually hill sprints. So I usually have like a speed workout, a run with hill sprints, and a long run is typically what my marathon training week will sort of look like. And then as far as miles, I mean, obviously everybody's different. Like I'm a more experienced runner, so you know, I mean, the most miles that I've done in a week is like 83.
Hmm.
But for me, now I know everyone's different, but like for me, I get confidence making sure I get all those elements that I talked about in my week. But I also get a lot of confidence with getting my mileage up. For me, that just makes me feel more prepared because 26.2 miles is a long way. And I know if I've stacked a bunch of bricks of like between 65 and 80 miles a week within a marathon training block consistently, and I've got all my long runs in and done everything I need to do with speed work and weight training
Mm. Hmm.
and sleep and food and all the things.
Oh, totally,
So
totally.
much.
You gotta have all that.
I gotta have all that. I mean, there's so many different. I'm just trying to think. Like my mind is swirling because it's like making sure my warm ups are good and that my
Yeah.
recovery is well and like all of it.
You totally just reminded me of something when you said that. If you follow the Run Strong coach from BYU on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
I
I love
saw I
him.
saw yeah, I saw a reel from him. I don't know when he posted it, but I saw it today, and it was saying he was basically saying you can do the Normatec boots, you can do the cold tub, you can do all the fancy bells and whistles, but if you're missing sleep and you're missing good nutrition, you're basically picking up pennies, stepping over $100 bills. I'm
Yeah,
kind of paraphrasing exactly how it was, but it was basically you're missing the $100 bills for the pennies
yeah,
when you miss the crucial sleep, nutrition, all the things.
yeah. I spot on. All the fancy gadgets that we have now are great,
Yeah,
and I love a good Normatec boot session. So I think that's great, but
totally.
that does not take the place of good sleep. Just you can do all that other stuff, and if you're not sleeping well, it doesn't even matter. So, yeah,
Yeah, the fancy gadgets have honestly changed the game, especially the shoes.
yeah,
When you think about super shoes like Vaporflies,
yeah,
new Vaporfly
baby.
fours.
Wait, let me see those.
Oh yeah,
Brand new.
I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
What has your experience been with the new tech?
I can't believe that I did not race in high school and college with super shoes.
I know, like that would have totally changed the game.
It would totally change the game. Which is why when you see the records that professional runners have had pre super shoe era, it's that much more impressive because
Totally.
they didn't have nearly the technology that we have. But yeah, I love a good super shoe. I raced the marathon, in super shoes, so I'm all for it. I've got
Yeah.
some of the gadgets and all the things. And you know what? But one thing that I want to say that I love
Hmm.
with my training is body work.
Mm.
I mean, I just
Totally.
feel like I have to have body work when I'm in the middle of a training cycle. Once I have someone that knows what they're doing really give me good work, it just is a game changer with like how I
100%.
feel and like how much faster I can do my workouts and the recovery and just, yeah.
Totally. I couldn't agree more. I mean, it just makes you feel magical on race day when you time it right. Because I've done it. I'm sure you remember. I sure you remember. Here's a quick story. I had body work done. I think it was a Friday, and I had Woodbridge this huge invite on a Saturday. This was last year, and I got this whole like intensive massage, and the masseuse was like, "Oh, do you need any Advil or ibuprofen afterwards?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, I'm
Yeah.
sure I'll be fine. Nobody's ever asked me that before." Little did I know that I was going to be so sore the next day, and I had a not so great race because my muscles are sore from the massage.
I
So you got to
know.
time it right. Moral of the story.
You gotta time it right. Like you don't want to, have something new that you're not used to the day before. I
Yeah,
can't
don't do it the
remember.
day before.
Yeah, don't do it the day before. But yeah, that was really unfortunate because it was like this is your last time running on that course as a high schooler.
Oh yeah,
And it's
that
like,
too.
oh, but that's okay.
Yeah,
You learn. We live and we
totally.
learn.
We learn. And any races coming up in 2026? Any marathons specifically?
Yeah, so okay, I'm gonna need help picking a race. I'm still mulling around in my mind which spring marathon that I want to do, whether I want to travel, do I want to stay close. There's definitely something to be said when you don't have to travel across the country to do a race and
Hmm.
all the logistics and the time change and all of that. I love being able to sleep in my own bed and just go to a race. But then there's a lot of, race choices and possibilities outside of California. So I've got to I've just been mulling it around in my head, thinking about it, and yeah, it's been kind of fun not really having anything definitively on the calendar right now because I can just really focus on building a good base and getting strong with my weight training and just getting really fit and so that I'm really fit when I go into a cycle. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you have any ideas, let me know.
I'll let you know. Okay, okay. So this next question is honestly one of my favorites of all time. I love asking this question. I love thinking about it myself. Do you love to win or do you hate to lose?
Ooh, I didn't even know you were going to ask this question.
I know, a little curveball.
Do I love to win or do I hate to lose?
It's a mindset question.
Mm. Um, I love to win.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I love to win. I'm
Because
going.
I totally think in life, if you're playing the game just to avoid the loss, like, how are you even really playing? You know what I mean? You gotta love to win. And losing is a part of winning.
Yeah. And and I also feel that just because you don't win every single time doesn't mean you're a loser.
Yeah,
There's so
100%.
many takeaways. But at the same time, you do have to go into a race with a winner's mindset,
Oh, yeah.
and you're just and I learn every single time, Josh. I'm always like, because there's definitely times that I feel like I'm in a race and someone will pass me,
Hmm.
and I have to learn to not let that happen. Or how am I going to deal with that? Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to just let them blow by me? They're probably hurting as much as I am.
Yeah.
Or am I going to go with them? Am I going to cover the move, even though I'm not a professional runner, but am I going to cover what that move and and
Right.
go with them? Or am I going to just let them blow by me? And I deal with that a lot, which I think that's why it's so important that sports psychology is so important and to really tap into your mind, because you can be as fit as you want to be, but if you don't have it up here,
We don't have it up here.
it's just it's so much up here, right? Once you're fit, but it's just
Yeah.
there's so much into the mental game, and I'm constantly still learning.
Oh, yeah. What's the pre-race self-talk, motivation, whatever it is, meditation prayer? What does it look like for you?
Looking back at my training log, seeing all the work that I've put in and looking at it and saying oh, okay, I've done the work, and looking at it and seeing all the weeks that I've stacked upon, all the months upon months of training. So you know, that's important for me in my mental psyche. And I think writing down the objective, the goal, what I want to get out of the race. Usually, I'll have a goal that I've written in the beginning of the cycle, and then
Hmm.
I'll revisit that, and then really look at that and say, are you ready to go get that goal?
Yeah.
Um, so
And
I've been learning to journal a lot. I journal a lot more than I used to, and write things down and
mhm.
self talk in the written word. I think that helps me a lot to get ready for a race. Prayer, definitely. Family, like people like you guys supporting me, and just that helps and means a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was gonna say I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was thinking too. I was excited thinking about it. The during the race visualization, but beforehand. So before the race starts, you visualize what's gonna happen. What am I gonna do when somebody passes me? How am I gonna respond? Thinking about all the scenarios in your head before the gun even goes off. I love to do that.
I love to do that too, and I think with a marathon, you're out there for such a long time that it really doesn't. the race doesn't really even happen until the last 10K and then definitely the last 5K. So, the first 20 miles, I feel like I'm just floating along and ticking off the boxes and making sure that I'm taking my fueling at the right time, even if I don't need it, because I know I'm going to regret not taking it later. And then when the racing begins, because for me there's a lot of like age group stuff, so it's like, okay, that woman that passed me, was she in my age group, or
Right.
am I going to become, even not so much the age group stuff, but even just like overall women standings, like in that race, like those two women that passed me, does that mean I'm going to be bumped down in like the overall women's standings rather than going with them and like really pushing myself? So I think about that too.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. It's all about the mental game.
So
And
fun.
like, how bad do you want it during that race when it hurts?
Oh
When the
yeah.
lugs are burning, like you were saying.
Oh, I think that's what I still am working on. Because,
Hmm.
when we're sitting here and we're like relaxed and just chatting and there's no
Yeah, just shooting the
pressure,
breeze.
and how bad do you want it? And then when you get out there and everything is screaming and like your legs are so tired and you're just like, there's a whole different like layer to how bad do you want it. Like you do want it really badly, but then at the same time you're like, I just want the pain to stop as well.
Yeah. Okay. Last question.
Yes,
Here it is.
bring it.
What is the best thing running has given to you? I know as runners we pour so much into the sport. What's the best thing that you've taken away from it thus far?
It has given me a really good work ethic. It's given me the ability to push through pain, whether it's life pain, pain in different aspects of just life. Running, because you at some point in your running and your racing, you have to push through pain, and the ability to work through that and have the pain management, it definitely bleeds over into real life. Um, it's given me resilience. Like, I mean, I've definitely had my share of ups and downs in the sport, injury and disappointment, or feeling like, you've trained so hard, but it didn't show in the race, that
Mm.
fitness that you've built up, and like the disappointment with that. And it's different than racing a 5K where you can just bounce back pretty quickly
Hmm.
and come back and do another one. But a marathon,
Yeah.
you really have to wait. I mean, I've done back to back marathons, but usually you have a goal marathon, and then you've got to wait a long time to have that chance again.
Hmm.
So you feel like you really want to get it right. um,
Totally,
and
totally.
and absorbing disappointment, because life is a series of disappointments sometimes, and failures sometimes, and ups and downs. And I think the sport of running has given me the ability to deal with that from a life perspective as well. uh,
Love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great answer. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I love talking about all this with you. This is good.
Likewise.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Running news. What's up in the running world?
let's do it.
Okay.
I got notes,
I got
baby.
notes too.
I got
My
notes.
lighting is so bad that you can barely see it. Yeah, you
Oh,
can't see it at all.
it's like a white sheet of paper.
You
Can you
can't
see
see it.
mine? Got a little bit.
Awesome. For
All
for all
right.
you know, I didn't write anything down because you can't see it.
I believe you, though.
Thank you.
What you got? What's up? What do you want to talk
Okay.
about?
So, New York City Marathon happened
Okay.
recently.
Yeah. Today is Tuesday,
It's
November
Tuesday.
4th. So we just had the New York City Marathon 48 hours ago,
Yep.
and it was phenomenal. First of all, the largest marathon in history with 59,226 finishers.
That's so wild. That's so many people.
So many people. Uh, we saw Eliud Kipchoge run his last professional marathon,
Yep.
and he
I
had
heard he's gonna do some more.
He's gonna do some more, but not at the
but
professional level.
yeah, more low
And
key.
then he got, yeah, the 6-star medal. So he's run all 6 marathons. He's won a majority of them. So he's the GOAT. That was cool.
Oh yeah,
What else stood out
Helen
for you?
Obiri course record for the women.
Yeah.
I mean, she ran 2:19:51, which is like so insane. I don't think a lot of people realize how fast that is. I didn't pull up the pace on VDOT for once. I can do it real quick, but
I
it's
think
on
it's like, 5:15, but you can look it up, or five. I don't know. Look it up, the
yeah,
exact. But Helen Obiri is a mother. She has a
yeah,
kid. She has a whole life. She's this incredible athlete. She's won the New York City Marathon before. She's sponsored by On. She is just on fire. Like, I love watching her run. I watched an interview that she did earlier today, and she's just so passionate and at the same time just super chill.
yeah.
I would love to be a fly on the wall and watch one of her workouts.
5:20 per mile. Just pulled it
Okay,
up,
5:20 per mile
which that's insane. 5:20 per mile for 26.2 miles.
on a hilly, challenging course like New York City.
Yep,
That's legit.
that is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. And
Um.
then,
Yeah.
oh
Go
no,
ahead.
you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say Charles Hicks,
Yeah,
debut marathon, 24 years old, 2:09:59, seventh place, second American by 3 seconds. So on fire. That was really cool.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Because for someone who, I mean, that's his first marathon. So all the work that he's done in the relatively shorter stuff, translating to that, that's got to be so rewarding to be like, I have the fitness to do that.
He has a fitness, and we were talking about this earlier, but so many American runners in the past have waited until like toward the later parts of their career to move to the marathon.
Hmm.
But now, I mean, we're he's an example. Like, we're starting to move younger people to marathon racing. He's only 24 years old, and that's what
Yeah.
the Kenyans and the Ethiopians do. And he's had enough time in his career to have a lot of speed behind him, have a great track and cross country career. So this is going to be cool. I mean, I was listening to an interview that he was doing, and he's like, "Yeah, I am a marathoner now."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that was
I think that's just great for American distance running, specifically in the marathon, to get men and women running it earlier
yeah.
because you just have that whole time to progress and get faster and faster. I mean, if your first race is 2:09, just imagine in 5 years' time what you could be running.
I know. His last workout on Strava was like a 20-mile run at like 5:30 pace. And I
Wow,
was just like,
that's so
okay,
nuts.
so fast. He said he's running like 115 miles a week, which is standard
Yeah,
for
yeah,
men marathoners. But yeah,
totally.
just an incredible debut. Of course, the Kenyans, they swept the podium for the men. And then, of course, let's talk about our women.
Hmm.
Um, the American women did great. Fiona O'Keefe, fourth place. She won the Olympic trials in the
Yeah,
marathon, and then had that injury at the Olympics. So for her to come back I was just really happy to see her come back. 2:22:49, first American. Annie Frisbee came in fifth. Emily Sisson, who is our current American record holder in the marathon, eighth
yeah,
place. And Amanda Vestry, when in her debut marathon, ran 2:25:40 for ninth place, which is so solid,
so fast, so
so
fast.
fast.
It's honestly so great.
Yeah, I love
I'm
that.
just trying to wrap my head around running a marathon that fast. Because obviously I've done one. I wear the shirt all the time, the Grandma's Marathon orange shirt.
But that, okay, let's talk about quickly touch upon the fact that yes, that was technically your first marathon because and
Yeah,
you were helping me, but that was not. I mean, it is your first, but that doesn't even cover what you could
that's what I'm
actually.
saying. Like I'm trying to wrap my head around running it that fast.
Yeah,
It's so wild. But I thoroughly enjoyed doing it with you.
I so enjoyed
Running
it.
running running that marathon. And it was humid. It was humid out.
It was such a crazy day. All right, you guys, we will definitely. We
Yeah, we can
actually,
talk about that later.
well, we recorded an episode about that we before we even officially debuted the podcast. We recorded
Oh, recap.
our recap. So
Yeah,
we have
there
to
is.
release that for you guys.
Okay, back to the news.
Yeah. Okay. So should we talk about college stuff?
Yeah, let's talk about the conference championships that just happened
All right.
last week.
Yeah.
Um, I got an overview of it because there's a lot of conferences, there's a lot of schools, but starting with the WAC, CBU sweeping on both sides, men and women. Oh yeah,
Lance up, baby. You guys swept it. I mean, that was incredible. On Friday, Halloween morning, they went to Texas and they just whoosh, sweep.
swept them up.
That's right.
Yep. So that was great. And coach sent a link in the WhatsApp of the live results, the athletic.net live results. So I was the team. I think yeah, we had a workout. We had a workout that day, and so I remember after the workout, and I feel like even during some of the reps, I feel like I heard people talking about it.
Oh, nice.
Everyone was checking their phones, trying to see, where everyone was. So
I
that was
mean,
awesome.
that's incredible that your team,
Yeah,
CVU, swept the WAC.
yeah,
I mean that, and Valentine Soka won the whole thing in 23:51.
hmm
Sarah Schiffman had an incredible performance, third place. So, I mean, shout out to Coach Sean Smith, Coach Stephanie, and Coach Zach. You
Oh
guys
yeah,
rock.
we're doing good work here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So then, I know this is very brief, but then I want to talk about the ACC
Go for it.
specifically. Well, I guess we can just talk about all of it. So for the ACC men, it went Virginia, Syracuse, Wake Forest, Notre Dame, and Virginia Tech. Those were the top five schools. And one thing that had me intrigued about the ACC was seeing Rocky Hansen beat the course record.
He was
Amazing.
in
It was so
beast
fast.
mode. Like that photo of him crossing the finish line, I was like, whoa. He
Yeah,
just looked so strong and in control. It was great.
yeah,
Really,
and he's
really
only a
cool.
junior, so it's only gonna be up from there,
Yeah.
which is really cool to see.
I loved seeing the SEC championship title. The Alabama men swept that. Kelvin Chariot from Florida Gators won in 23:08, so fast. And Doris Lemgole, I just
Yeah,
realized how to pronounce her name. I was saying it wrong before. But she won in 1932. So that was a really strong conference. I mean, this is all gearing up for the national championship on November 22nd, which we're super
oh
stoked
yeah,
about that,
I'm so excited. That's the main event.
the main event.
Yeah,
Should we talk about the Big 12?
yeah. Let's talk about the Big 12. Okay, so on the women's side, Jane Hedegren winning conference. I believe she's undefeated in like major races right now.
I know.
I mean,
She's
that's
a
insane. As a true freshman,
A
to be able
true
to do that,
freshman.
to be able to do that as a true freshman, if you don't understand, like, just trust me when I say, it is like almost impossible to be pulling stuff off like that.
I know. She is on a whole other level. I really do believe when we say that she is a generational talent. I mean, it is so
100%.
true. I mean, the talent, the natural ability that she has. I mean, she runs faster than most men.
I know.
I
A
mean,
lot of her PRs are faster than mine from high
I
school
know.
that I haven't even gotten the chance to like lower yet because I haven't run track since last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll get there, but she's amazing. She got the course record in 1829. She's ranked third in the country right now for D1, and of course BU is the number one team for women in the country. So it is going to be an epic national championship.
Yeah. And then Big 12 men, team standings, it went Oklahoma State, Iowa State, Colorado, BYU, Kansas. And then another true freshman, Tavon Kitchen, making it happen for
Oh,
BYU.
what happened with him? I kind of missed that, or I didn't really hone in on that.
He placed really well. I believe he placed 17th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're going to have to fact check me on that one because I wasn't looking at the individual standings
Yeah.
for the Big 12, but
There was a lot to take in
he
this
ran he
past
ran very
weekend.
fast.
But the fact that you know, the fact that these high school kids, which granted, I mean, they were on a whole other level in high school, but, just a few months ago they were high school kids and they've transitioned into college and they're just tearing up the grass
Oh yeah.
in college is really, I mean, is that inspiring for you,
It's
Josh?
so inspiring. It's
I
so
mean, what
inspiring.
are you thinking in your mind? Like, what are your goals, hopes, dreams, like everything?
I'm thinking I could do anything. That's what I'm thinking because I mean if these people could do it, I could do it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of hard work, a little bit of luck, like I was saying last time. Everything has to come together at the right time. You got to be patient. And yeah, you just got to be a dog. You got to have that mindset.
You gotta have that dog mindset. You gotta stay healthy. You
That's
gotta stay
huge.
consistent, and you gotta just keep stacking those bricks, baby,
Stack them up brick by brick.
brick by brick. All right, we should probably wrap this up, but
Yeah, we're kind of dragging it a little bit.
um, we're an hour in. I didn't, although I do feel like it hasn't dragged at all. Like I feel like we've been getting covering some good stuff.
No, I'm just joking. It's been a nice flow, honestly. It hasn't felt like an hour,
I
truthfully.
know it's flown by. Well, we hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of the 11 podcast. I just want to talk about because I love the marathon. So it's the beginning of November. We've still got a lot of racing to do before the end of the year. We've got as far as marathons, we've got the Indy Marathon coming up next weekend. We have the Richmond
Hmm.
Marathon. I have an athlete running the half. We have the Philly Marathon. We have CIM. I have an athlete running CIM. We have Valencia over in Europe, which is going to be super fast. A lot of pros running Valencia. We have Honolulu, and we have the Marathon Project at the December 20th in
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of good stuff. Of course, we have the national championship for cross country. We have
My 5K time trial.
5K time trial for Josh and a lot of his CBU teammates coming up. Can't wait to come
Hmm.
back and recap that. Um, it's gonna be good. We got
Yeah.
good stuff happening.
Yeah, November is the month.
The month, and of course
Hmm.
Thanksgiving, and I can't wait to see you. And super excited for the holidays.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going by fast.
All right. That's about it for now, guys.
Peace out, fools.
We'll see you later.
Later.
Bye.